Well, hi guys. So great to have you with us today. And it's really a great opportunity at the moment during COVID to look at what opportunities we have. So Brave Enough has decided to have a chat with our friends at Master Your Money Now. Chris Carlin, you may be familiar with if you listen to 96.3 FM. We do a financial segment together each week, and he's just so full of wisdom. In fact, the AFA, or the Australian Financial Association, awarded him the Rising Star Award last year, which is an incredible thing. So this is a guy with a lot of credibility. He's also a Christian, and so it's just a great opportunity to get together and have a chat about that today, because it's so easy just to look at the things that are going wrong and the things that we've been closed off from. And so, Chris, welcome. It's so good to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Danny, for that awesome welcome. I think I might have to record that and put that as my welcome for all podcasts or interviews or something like that, because that was absolutely perfect. Thank you very much.
Well, I tell you what, credit where credit's due, Chris, and you really know your stuff. You're just so easy to work with. And of
Too
course,
kind.
we've partnered together a few other times. You were a sponsor for
Yes.
our Brave Enough conference as well. And of course, you know, in your role, you also get a lot of people needing help in the areas that Brave Enough deal with life issues. So, you know, it's just a match made in heaven, really. Works for everybody, and we get to reach and help more people, which is what it's really all about. So, Chris, you know,
Exactly.
as far as opportunities, we are in a time, I think all of us can agree, that circumstances
Mm.
are tricky. Change has
Mm.
happened, and with
Yep.
change comes grief. There are losses that come with change. Um,
Yep.
but the important thing is not to get stuck there. In a way, not to get stuck there is to be able to look at change as maybe an adventure or an opportunity, rather
Mm.
than looking at all the negatives. However, it is also important to acknowledge those losses. And I guess for both of us, there's been
Mm.
those things in our own lives that, you know, we've dealt with losses. For me, one of the
Yes.
big ones, and everyone knows this about me, I'm a hugger, and I hate the fact that we are socially distanced
That
and
makes two of us. I'm
we
a
can't
hugger
even do
too.
something as,
Yes.
yeah, as basic
Yeah.
as hug. But, you know, for other people, that looks really difficult in a lot of ways. People dealing with loneliness and mental health
Mm.
issues at the moment, and financial issues is a big one. And that's where your help is going to be so important for so many people. What kind of things are you finding at the moment that people are struggling with as far as loss in COVID and change?
Yeah, it's that's a great question, Danny. So I think we've moved past from as we're recording, we had that initial shock of, oh my goodness, what is actually happening? And there was a lot of uncertainty in regards to loss of jobs, and people went into work on Monday thinking everything's okay, and by the end of the day, they've lost their jobs or
Yeah.
lost their income. I think we've moved past that point now, or past that point of initial shock, and now we're probably moving into this new normal. Because I don't think this is going to, whilst restrictions are easing, and that's fantastic, I think for a
Mm.
lot of people, this is going to be a new normal, even beyond when these restrictions do end. Because, and I think the best way to describe it is, it feels like that the whole country, everyone in the country's had their quarter life or midlife crisis
Mm.
all at once. There's been this massive shock to the system, the proverbial stick in the whilst you're riding in the wheels whilst you're riding your bike, that kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
think everyone's going to be looking, or everyone, if they're not, they should be looking at their lives and going, well, hang on, is this the path that I want to stay on?
Yeah.
Um, from a financial perspective, am I on track from a financial perspective to live the life that I want to live?
Yeah.
Am I sick of work? Do I want to keep working the 9 to 5 on very little income, or do I want to be looking at ways where I can build my wealth so I can spend more time, look after myself better, look after my family better, look after the
Mm.
community around me better, and have more of a financial impact? So yeah, there's definitely, yeah, I think there's going to be some incredible opportunities and some innovation and creativity to come out of all of this. And I'm already hearing people saying that, they're learning new skills, they're learning new jobs, um, they're learning new business opportunities, new skills, whatever it might be. A lot of people are taking this opportunity to do constructive things, which can, really have a long-term impact.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
kudos to them. And but I think all of us should be asking the question, what path was I on, and do I want to continue on that path? And if
Yeah.
the answer is yes, fantastic. If not, then what can I do to change and go on down a different path?
Yeah, and I think that's key what you're saying right there. It's about finding that space to actually sit, and maybe even something that I did and that I find really valuable, and this may be really valuable for those of you listening right now, is to do something as simple as grab a big blank notepad
Mm.
and a pen and just say, okay, here's life. Let's look at
Yep.
family and friendships and finances and health, and just circle out all of those areas of life that you can think of, and what's
Mm.
working for you. What have you realized about it now that you've got time to actually think and reflect? And where would you like to see yourself go? Because without
Mm.
goals, Chris, and you would agree with this, I'm
Yep.
sure, because we've talked about it before, is that without a goal, we don't set those steps. Oh my gosh, that would be worth a slab if I was recording television for the whole crew. But there you go. Um, it's yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy. It's just
Yep.
crazy with the times we're living in. But this is a really good way to step out of that stuckness, out of that time of grief that we do need to
Yep.
have, and move forward. So I'd really
Yep.
encourage you to do that. But financially, there's some actually unique opportunities right now for people if they're finding themselves unemployed or wanting to change
Mm.
into a different career because they've realised when they've thought about it that they're actually maybe not happy, or there's maybe some areas that they'd like to explore and really find an area where they don't work a day in their life because they love what they
Mm.
do.
Yeah. 100%. And so much to unpack on what you just said. What first thing I'll say, I think we've got a lot more control over our lives than a lot of people take credit for.
Hmm.
I really do think we've got a lot more control, and our decisions, our daily decisions, do have a major impact in regards to how we can design our life, so to speak, or direct our lives to where we want to be. And it is those little daily things that we do that make a lifetime of difference. And if you go in with that mindset, as you said, a lot of people just go through life just cruising without direction, without focus, without a goal, without
Yeah,
that proverbial wandering in the wilderness, Exodus style. Like it's that's not the way that to live life. Oh, that's not the way I choose to live life. I know it's not the way you choose to live life, Danny, and I don't
yeah,
think that's the way you should choose to live life. You've got a choice, and if you go with that mindset, you do have a choice, then yeah, let's take advantage of that choice. Now, obviously, no one chose COVID-19.
yeah,
No one chose the circumstances that have happened around us. But you do have a choice right now, just sitting at home watching Netflix, thinking, "Oh, woe was me," or taking advantage and yeah, again, like I said, learn those new skills, learn those new things to take control of your life, not only
mm,
financially, but also in other areas of your life as well. And
yeah,
that's the whole concept of master your money now, is because I think a lot of people are mastered by money. People make decisions based on money, and I don't think that's the way one should live life.
mm,
Um, we should be the masters of money. Everyone should be the masters of their money. And look, that doesn't mean that we're all going to be going you know traveling around the world 24/7s in our Ferraris and having the the gold suits and all this ridiculous kind of stuff. It's that's not it, but it's making decisions so you can control money, not have money control you.
That's right. And it's about, I've heard people say, um, the lack of money is a problem. We're talking about
Mm,
being against poverty, not
yep.
about chasing the riches. And the
Yeah.
Bible, like for people that have got a
Mm,
spiritual background, would know. The Bible talks about you can't serve both God and money. So there's a
mm,
responsibility that we have. Um, to really be wise about our finances, and some of that includes giving. And
yep.
certainly, especially right now during COVID, looking at purpose. Why am
Mm,
I here? And what do I want to do with my life? And finances are a very important part of that.
yep.
As far as unique opportunities, though, financially at the moment, what are some of the things, Chris, that you're seeing that could put
Mm,
people on a good trajectory towards
yeah.
that?
I got a quick story. Like I got a haircut on the weekend, and I was talking to my barber, and the barber was, had to shut down for a few weeks. They've just
Yeah.
reopened, but they went, rather than sit around at home, they went back to being an excavator for 4 weeks and help out in a
Wow.
bit of a labourer role for
Yep.
4 weeks to get through. And then once the restrictions lifted, they went straight back to being a barber. It's um, the opportunities. I mean, it's the proverbial how long's a piece of string,
Mm.
and there's so many people that are using this opportunity to pivot and again to learn new skills that can be completely different to what they're used to. Like I know
Yeah.
of people who used to run coffee shops, they're now stacking shelves at Woolworths and doing this kind of thing. I know people who used to be in hospitality that have now moved to delivery and drivers and things like that. And
Mhm.
there are other people that are gone back to study and learnt new skills, whether it's childcare workers that have gone into more of a teaching role, so similar, but teachers are generally much more better paid than childcare workers. You're learning those, going back to study and learning those new skills, or networking, or doing a side business. Like there's there's so many opportunities out there. um, it really comes down to what are you good at, what do you want to learn,
Mm.
what sort of time and commitments do you want to have, or can you commit to. The opportunities are genuinely endless, but you've got to be in that mindset to be able to firstly see those opportunities, receive those opportunities, and be in position to take advantage of those opportunities. And a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't. Yes, some of that is financial. Some people can't because of their financial situation, but a lot more people are simply not seeing those opportunities because they're not in the right headspace.
So let's have a chat about, I guess, workforce sectors for a moment, because
Mm,
while there are, lots of businesses and industries that are having to stop work or close or
yeah.
slow down, there are some that are exploding, such as deliveries.
Yes.
And I know that's the case around the world, particularly in
Mm.
China. I've got a friend that lives over there, and he just said it's just crazy, like the amount of things that people are having delivered now. And he said, I think it's actually a permanent change. This is a
Yeah.
real shift in our
Yep.
culture over here in China. What do you see at the moment as far as opening up? I know Woolies were one example.
Yeah. I was talking to someone who works in the delivery space, and one of their key people is one of the big supermarket chains. And they said that they put it this way. They said, because they're doing a lot of online deliveries, and now they expect that to completely take off. And the way they'll say you got the early adapters, which is 20%, which were going to do it from day one.
Yeah.
You'll have 20% that will never ever do it, but it's that middle 60% that will gradually come over, and they expect that to accelerate. they expect that to, that the overwhelming majority of people will now do their shopping online. Now
Mm.
they've realized how easy it is, how convenient it is. They would expect that to continue. And so, yeah, if you're a business, or if you're in a role which you can't do with an online presence or do remotely, um, yeah, you've got to have those skill sets now. So if
Yeah.
you're someone who sells, whether it's like a retail product like clothes or earrings or whatever it might be, you've got to have an online presence. You've got to learn how to do things online, virtually, deliveries, so people can buy off you effectively without even contacting you.
Yeah.
Easier, depends on what you're delivering, but that's easier said than done. But you have to have an online presence. I know a lot of commercial property owners are looking at this with a bit of dread, because they're realizing, oh, hang on, we don't need to have people that rent out office spaces looking at going,
Mm.
oh, hang on, we don't really need an office space, or, a fancy expensive office space on the waterfront and all this kind of stuff. We can do a lot of things from home. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you've got skills in that area which you can do online that service people remotely, then that's definitely going to be important. But also, there is also going to be a re-emphasis on face-to-face as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are missing the physical hugs, and the virtual hugs just don't quite do it. So yeah, it's really it's a really mixed bag. There's plenty of opportunities out there. Um, it's just trying to read the tea leaves, so to speak, and see what those opportunities are out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's across the board, Chris. I mean, you're seeing all
Mm,
of that from a financial perspective. At Brave Enough, we're seeing that from an emotional perspective.
yes.
People dealing with new opportunities in their own journeys. What kind of
Mm,
relationships are
yeah.
important to me now? Who are my actual inner circle?
Yep.
Are there things that I haven't processed or grieved from my life? Are there areas where I'd like to grow? And I guess what you and I would love to see happen as a result of even
Mm,
this little chat that we've had today is that people are empowered to move forward with
mm,
those opportunities in the best way that they can. And so
yep.
you and I, with this partnership between Master Your Money Now and Brave Enough, would love to help you do that. So if you've got some financial opportunities that you'd like to explore, Chris
Mm,
has some incredible resources available on his site, as we do at Brave Enough, braveenough.org. We have
mhm,
some devotional challenges, podcasts, certainly there for you anytime. If you need to ask a question or chat, just send us a message. Lots of opportunity there for you to have support and some ideas on processing through that. Now, Chris, you've also got some incredible stuff on your website. You've helped me
mm,
personally with my finances, so I know how good
yeah.
you are at what you
Mm.
do, and how wonderful your
Ah,
resources are. But I'll leave
not bad.
you to have a chat about that with everyone for a minute.
Yeah, so I'm a big believer that knowledge is power, and but also in edutainment as well. So
Yeah.
I try and make my stuff not boring. I think that's the most insulting thing you can be. Is yeah. Hopefully you find the stuff's not boring, but yeah, we've got plenty of things. Whether it's Whiteboard Wednesday, which is short snippets on how you can manage your finances, video snippets. We've got articles, we've got blogs. Probably the
Yeah.
two things I'll shout out is we've got a budgeting course, which is, so you've never done a budget before or never had a structure in place to manage your finances. There's a
Yeah.
budgeting course that you can take that helps you do that. It's distributed through Udemy, which is one of the largest platforms of online courses.
Yeah.
So they've endorsed that course, which is fantastic. So yeah, you can
And
go on the website there.
I just have to
Yep,
say
go
with
on.
that too, Chris, because you're so personable, you really do explain things in a way that's simple, step by step, in that process too. So don't be afraid that you're going to hit some
Mm.
heavy thing. You're not.
Mm.
This is really, really practical and simple.
Yeah, try and focus on things we probably should have learnt at school, and that's not having a go at teachers because they've never been taught it either. So it's just just the way the system is. So glad it. You've got that view of it as well, Danny. So, and then the other thing I'll shout out outside of the budgeting course is, if you are, it's based in Australia, this is, book yourself in. You offer a 30-minute complimentary chat.
Yep.
On my website, you can book in and we can have a chat over the phone about your situation. No commitment, nothing at all. Just have a chat, and if we are a good fit, then we can discuss working together, what that looks like. But even not, we can have a bit of a chat just to see how we can fix up your circumstances. So my website is masteryourmoneynow.com.au. If you want to go to book in your complimentary 30-minute chat, you can go to the Get Started tab and follow the prompts. You'll also find links for the budgeting course, the case study on how to buy your first home as well, if you're one of our younger listeners, and also all the blogs, videos, and also our regular radio segments on there as well, Danny.
That's right. Plenty of those around, that's for sure.
Yes.
And Chris, I just want to stress too to everyone that's with us at the moment tuning in, that you have not paid us, we have not paid you. This is purely something that we are doing to help you guys and to just serve, just to help you guys through this time. Just as far as Brave Enough and some of the things that we've got available for you at the moment, some of our devotional challenges from a spiritual perspective are being released every few weeks. The two that we have up there now, which are our first ones, deal with grief and loss, and not just death, but all sorts of losses, because you could have a loss of health or finances. So that's a great 5-day devotional that you can take a look at. Again, all free. And the other one is called Winds of Change, and that's dealing with change and transition, which is, of course, very relevant right now. And the other thing is we have life topic pages dealing with all sorts of issues, and podcasts as well on those topics. So everything from dealing with chronic illness. We interviewed Luke Smallbone from For King and Country. Dave Adamson does a beautiful podcast with us on dealing with life balance and social media. We've also got topics there on addiction and the prodigal and all sorts of wonderful things. Lindy Chamberlain's there as well, talking about forgiveness. So if we can be of any help, head on over to braveenough.org for those resources too.
Some incredible resources you've got there, Danny. It's keep up the amazing work you do. Conference last year was fantastic. It's shame we can't do one this year, but I'm sure there'll be one in 2021 or something similar.
Oh, looking forward to it. We were very fortunate actually on that, because we felt like God was saying, this year is just to focus on resources, don't do a conference. And we tried to pull some things together. Paul Coleman was going to come and speak, and just it didn't happen. But look at the opportunity that we've been given, and I guess he had so much wisdom in that, because we are just focusing on resources and we have to, because of the situation with COVID. So well, I hope you've all gained something from that. We're going to provide a little downloadable sheet too, if you want to work through some of your opportunities and exploring that for yourself. And stay in touch, and we'll be available 100%. Online now after this, to be able to just have a bit of a chat with you if you've got any questions, you're after any resources, and anything we don't have, we'll try and chase up for you. So thank you for being with us. And Chris, thank you for your contribution today. Just awesome.
No, thank you very much, Danny, for the opportunity. And I'm sure we'll be able to give a physical hug very, very soon, I think.
That's right. Well, next time I see you in person, you might be looking like Ned Kelly, the way that beard's going.
I don't think my wife will let it grow that long, but yes, I am enjoying the ISO beard, that's for sure.
Mate, maybe you could just even plait it, you do the whole Viking thing, Chris.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I'm going to get in trouble here. We better go before I'm in strife.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks for being with us, guys. And if we can be of help, let us know. Catch you soon.